somebody says, what's more dominant, your Myers-Briggs type or your Enneagram type? Well, obviously the most important is your Myers-Briggs type. I think that this is what's so fascinating about both of them, is that I think that they come at things from a different enough angle. I would say that from my observation, Myers-Briggs is a very direct path of growth. Myers-Briggs is not, it gives, you can spend a lot of time growing in Myers-Briggs and your Myers-Briggs type, but it has a simplicity to it. But the Enneagram, there's a lot to the Enneagram. There's so many different places that you can go with Enneagram. And what I've noticed is that they're very compatible. So how I've been using it is of course I mastered Myers-Briggs first. And I've been noticing how as I get more and more into my Enneagram subtype of being a sexual 3, I use what I know about my mind's wiring in Myers-Briggs to be compatible with my growth path in the Enneagram. Like I just sort of merge them together and I make sure that they have that complementary piece. But the Enneagram goes further. I mean, I would say that it has so much more content to explore. Now, of course, if you're into socionics, you'll go, no, it doesn't, because socionics. And you might not be wrong. Socionics goes pretty far. But when it comes to cognitive functions, and if you're going to be mastering those first 4 functions, I wouldn't say either one is dominant. I would say that they kind of explain different aspects of who you are, and they I think very beautifully complement each other in your growth path. What would you say, B?
Yeah, I don't know. I wouldn't know how to answer the question is what's more dominant than the other. I mean, I just think they're both, describe lenses on the world or ways of operating systems, let's say. So I think it's hard to say what's more dominant. Can I say a little bit of something about Enneagram Roadmap and how I think it's the perfect accompaniment to what I spend a lot of my time doing live? My business partner and I offer live inner work retreats. We offer them mostly in San Francisco, London, Cairo in Egypt, Sao Paulo, Brazil, and coming soon, China. And in those inner work retreats, we do deep work with the Enneagram. But we don't really teach the basics. We kind of get right into the deeper work. So Enneagram Roadmap is like the perfect thing to do if you're wanting to do some deep work as a prelude to kind of doing one of our inner work retreats, or even doing one of our professional workshops where we help practitioners learn to use the Enneagram in a deep and accurate way. So we'd love to see you at one of our 5-day programs, but Enneagram Roadmap is really a good thing to do first to kind of, first of all, just, enter into the Enneagram, I think, in a deep way and how it can be used as a growth tool and what the system is all about. But also as an introductory workshop you can do in the comfort of your own home before you come and do something deeper with us, which we'd love to have you do.
Well, and to piggyback on that, Joel was mentioning when we flew Beatrice out again, when we were in Florida to record more content. As you mentioned, we've been listening to that all day long because we've been doing some editing on it. And I had forgotten how good those conversations were, because we were talking about things that, we were talking about instinctual stacks. So, people have been talking, I'm a self-pres sexual, or I'm a social, sexual, or whatever, self-pres. And then you just kind of hinted. And then we have the ones that's repressed, right? And in the Enneagram Roadmap, the content that we were creating, you mentioned how it was like a beach ball underneath water, that we do an elaborate balancing act to try to repress it and push it down so we don't have to see it. And so we talked about those things about stacks and what it looks like to have each of those instincts, what it looks like when one of those is your repressed beach ball underneath the water, and what it means to have one that's dominant. And
when it explodes.
When it explodes, yeah, because that beach ball will come up sometimes and surface, and what it looks like when your repressed instinct explodes. I mean, it's such good stuff. So that's now in the Enneagram Roadmap, or those are being uploaded right now, and it's just really amazing content. So I also would like to put my hat in the ring of recommending that right now, because we're releasing Enneagram Roadmap right now. It's a really good time to go check out that program. So